Tell me a little bit about this woman you married.
This woman I married, the love of my life, Catherine Ross, married Catherine Ross.
For many, many years, people kept talking about it. They spoke softly, they guessed, but no one really knew the full story. Sam Elliott, with his deep voice and calm charm, always stayed quiet, never giving anything away. But now, at 74 years old, he's finally telling the truth. In a quiet, heartfelt moment, he said, "She was the love of my life." Just like that, an old rumor came back to life. So now everyone is wondering, who was she? Why did he keep quiet for so long? What happened between them? Join us in this video as we discuss the details. Sam Elliott confesses to the rumor of decades. Sam Elliott has, at long last, made a statement that many people have been waiting to hear for a long time. After years and years of staying quiet and avoiding the spotlight on his personal life, Elliott has finally shared something deeply personal. For so long, people had speculated about who held the special place in his heart. Now, after all this time, the mystery has been solved. The woman who Sam Elliott calls the love of his life has been revealed. That woman is Catherine Ross, an actress who has played a big part in his life for many years. What was once a subject of much guessing and uncertainty has now been openly confirmed. It wasn't always obvious who the love of Sam Elliott's life was. For many years, he kept his personal life very private, and people wondered if he would ever speak openly about it. But now, with his recent words, Elliott has broken his silence and cleared up the long-standing mystery. It seems that, for all the years of quiet speculation, Sam Elliott had someone very special in his life all along. Catherine Ross and Sam Elliott first crossed paths in the film industry. They were both working actors, both pursuing careers in a business where connections were common, but they did not immediately connect with each other when they first worked together. In 1969, they appeared in the film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but at that time, they did not speak to one another. Ross had a more prominent role in the movie, while Elliott had a much smaller, non-speaking part. While Elliott noticed Ross and admired her from afar, he did not speak to her. He didn't try to strike up a conversation, and he kept his distance. He simply observed her quietly. There was no interaction, no words exchanged. Just the silent recognition of someone he admired, even if he did not let her know it. It wasn't until years later that their paths crossed again. This time, things were different. It was 1978 when they worked together again on the film The Legacy, a horror film. This time, they spoke to each other. This time, there was an opportunity to connect. And connect they did. Something grew between them during this time. What started as a professional relationship slowly began to turn into something more personal. Their connection continued to grow after the film wrapped. It wasn't just a fleeting moment of mutual interest. It turned into something lasting, something that would last for many years. In 1984, after years of building this connection, Sam Elliott and Catherine Ross got married. Their marriage would be the foundation of Elliott's personal life from that moment on. Through all the years he spent working in the entertainment industry, his marriage to Ross remained strong. Despite the pressures of Hollywood, their marriage endured. It stayed steady and constant. Their relationship was not swayed by the changes that swept through the entertainment world. It stood firm, as solid as the bond they had built together. The couple also had a daughter in 1984. They named her Cleo Rose Elliott. Cleo would later become a musician, but before that, she was a child growing up in a home where love and stability were ever present. Despite the public nature of their careers, Sam Elliott and Catherine Ross created a private life for their family. They shielded their daughter from the attention that often surrounds famous families. They worked hard to provide her with a normal childhood, away from the constant gaze of the media. As Sam Elliott's confession reveals the depth of his love for Catherine Ross, it leads us to explore not only their enduring bond, but also how this connection has shaped their lives, both on and off the screen. What has allowed their relationship to stand the test of time, and how has their commitment remained unshaken through the years? Let's dive into more details. The lasting bond between Sam Elliott and Catherine Ross. Before he met Catherine Ross, Sam Elliott was known for being a quiet and private person. He didn't share much about his personal life, and people speculated about his romantic relationships, or lack thereof. Some people thought that maybe Elliott was someone who never fell in love, someone who preferred to be alone. Others believed that he had simply kept his romantic life private, and for years, that remained the case. Elliott did not speak much about the women in his life, if any, and he kept his emotions closely guarded. He had built a reputation as someone who was not easily swayed by the spotlight or attention, especially when it came to matters of the heart. But now, after all this time, he has revealed the truth. Catherine Ross was always the woman who held a special place in his heart. She was not just another co-star or colleague. She was the one who became his partner. She became the person he chose to share his life with. She became his wife, and together they built a life away from the fame and chaos of Hollywood. While many celebrity marriages come and go, theirs remained steady. It was strong, it was quiet, and it lasted. Their bond was built on trust, respect, and shared values, things that allowed their relationship to grow and thrive over the years. Before her marriage to Elliott, Catherine Ross had been married several times. She had experienced the ups and downs of relationships, and her earlier marriages did not last. But when she married Elliott in 1984, things were different. This marriage proved to be the one that would stand the test of time. Despite her past experiences, this relationship with Elliott was steady. It was built on a solid foundation, and it endured. What makes Elliott's recent confession stand out is the way he chose to express it. He did not hold a press conference or release a statement through a publicist. He didn't speak about his feelings in an over-the-top dramatic way. Instead, he simply and quietly referred to Catherine Ross as the love of his life. He confirmed, in his own way, what many people had long suspected but never heard directly from him. He made it clear that she was the one who had always meant the most to him. Elliott is known for playing tough, silent characters in films, particularly in westerns. He is often cast as strong men who do not speak unless absolutely necessary. In real life, Elliott carries some of the same traits. He does not speak often, and when he does, his words are measured. But when he does speak, his words have weight. They carry meaning. By calling Catherine Ross the love of his life, Elliott gave the public a rare glimpse into his personal world. He revealed that his marriage to her had not only endured, but had shaped much of his adult life. Their love was steady, it was long-lasting, and it had been there all along. Their relationship has not been the subject of scandal or gossip. It has not been marred by drama or rumors. Instead, it has simply continued. The confession that Elliott made recently did not change how the public viewed him. It simply confirmed what many people already believed, that underneath his reserved and quiet exterior, there is a deep, unwavering loyalty and love for the woman who has stood by him for all these years. Today, Elliott and Ross live a quiet life. They are not in the spotlight. They have kept their personal lives private, away from the public eye. Their relationship has been built on time, patience, and shared experiences. They have faced challenges, just as any couple does. But through it all, they have remained united. Their love has remained steady. And now, Elliott's recent words only serve to confirm what their relationship has shown for years. Catherine Ross continues to be known for her roles in films such as The Graduate and The Stepford Wives, and Sam Elliott remains active in the world of film and television. Though they have both grown older, their commitment to each other has not faded. The love that Elliott now speaks of has always been there. It was there before, and it is still there now. It has been steady. It has been lasting. And now, it has been named. But what happens when a Western legend speaks out against a modern-day cowboy film, and the world doesn't like what he has to say? Let's find out the outburst that stirred the West. Sam Elliott, the actor who became famous for his roles in Western movies like Roadhouse and The Big Lebowski, is still very well known and loved, even now, as he gets older. At 77 years old, many people still admire him and look up to him as a Western legend. But recently, something happened that may be changing how people feel about him. Some things Sam said during an interview got a lot of interest and annoyed a few people. He talked about a movie called The Power of the Dog, and what he said about the film made a lot of people angry. The movie was up for several awards and was praised by critics. But Sam didn't like it. In fact, he seemed really bothered by it. He didn't hold back his feelings when asked about the movie. He thought it made the idea of the Old West look bad. He also didn't like the way the men in the film were dressed. He said they looked like dancers from a show, not real cowboys. This all happened when Sam was a guest on a podcast. The show is called WTF with Marc Maron. When Mark brought up the movie, Sam quickly reacted strongly. He used a bad word right away and made it clear that he thought the movie was bad. He said it in a way that left no doubt that he didn't respect the film at all. Sam explained that he thought the movie did not present what real cowboys were like properly. He appears to feel that it wasn't just a bad movie, it actually hurt the image of the West. He talked about how the movie had some parts that pointed at homosexuality. Sam said that the film gave the wrong picture of how things used to be back then. He didn't like how the movie showed those characters and their relationships. He also didn't like where the movie was filmed. Even though the story is set in Montana, the director, Jane Campion, decided to film it in New Zealand, which is her home country. That choice didn't sit well with Sam. He said it didn't feel right to him for someone who wasn't American to make a movie about the American West and film it so far away from where the story was supposed to happen. Interestingly, Sam said that he actually liked some of the director's earlier work. He mentioned her 1993 film The Piano and said he respected that one. But when it came to The Power of the Dog, he just couldn't support it. He felt that Jane Campion didn't understand what the West was really about, and that her version of it just didn't feel true to history. Some people think that Marc Maron asked about the film on purpose to stir up trouble or create buzz for his podcast. Mark has been known to talk about controversial subjects before, so it wouldn't be surprising if he brought up the movie knowing Sam would react the way he did. It might have been a way to get more people to listen to the show and talk about it online. Even though the comments Sam made were only a small part of the full interview, they ended up becoming a big deal. They got a lot of attention, and people began talking about Sam again. Some in support, others in disagreement. Sam had said in the interview that he was working on something new, so all this attention might actually help him in some ways, even if the situation is a bit uncomfortable. So, how did the stars and the filmmaker behind The Power of the Dog respond when Sam Elliott's bold words sent shockwaves through Hollywood? Stay tuned for more details. Hollywood reactions, and Sam's next move. After the podcast aired, two of the film's stars responded to what Sam said. Benedict Cumberbatch, who played the lead role in The Power of the Dog, spoke out in a calm and thoughtful way. He said he hadn't heard the full podcast, but he knew about the comments. He didn't want to be too hard on his answer, but he did feel that some of the things Sam said were odd and maybe not very fair. Benedict explained that the characters in the movie might not show every cowboy or every person from the West, but they were meant to show a particular side of life that is real and wasn't always talked about. He said it's important to tell stories about people who've been pushed aside or forgotten. And even though Sam's comments were upsetting, Benedict said he could understand why someone like Sam might feel a little left out by how Westerns have changed. Benedict admitted that it's probably hard for Sam to watch something he once helped shape into a big genre become something very different. Cody Smith-McPhee, who played another major role in the film, didn't say as much as Benedict, but what he did say was a bit sharper. He said he didn't feel like responding to Sam's comments directly, but he wished him well, even if he thought Sam's fight against the movie was pointless. As for the director, Jane Campion, she didn't come out right after the podcast to address Sam's remarks. But in an interview she gave just before the podcast came out, she talked about how she wanted to do something bold with the film. She said she knew the story might upset some people or get people talking, especially because of the parts that deal with homosexuality. So in a way, it seems like Sam Elliott's reaction was something she might have expected or even hoped for. Jane Campion has been making films for a long time. The Power of the Dog isn't her first successful film, and she's already received lots of praise in the past. But this one was especially big for her. With this film, she became the first woman to ever be nominated for the Best Director Oscar twice. That's a big deal. The film tells the story of Phil Burbank, played by Benedict Cumberbatch. Phil is a rancher living in Montana who is hiding his true feelings about who he is. He has a complex relationship with another character, played by Cody Smith-McPhee, and those feelings are a big part of the story. The movie tries to show what life was like for people like Phil, who had to keep secrets because of how society saw them. Meanwhile, Sam Elliott has been working on his own Western project. But it's not a movie, it's a TV series called 1883. This show is connected to another popular Western show called Yellowstone. If 1883 ends up being just as popular as Yellowstone, it could be a good thing for Sam's career, giving him steady work for a while. Still, people are wondering whether what Sam said will hurt his career. He might be realizing now that it's sometimes better not to say everything he's thinking when it comes to certain topics. When a reporter asked him again later about The Power of the Dog, Sam just smiled and said he'd never even heard of it. That may have been his way of avoiding more controversy. In the end, Sam Elliott just doesn't agree with how The Power of the Dog showed the West. He didn't like the suggestions of homosexuality, and he didn't like that the film was shot in New Zealand instead of the American West. His comments made a lot of noise, and people are still talking about it. But before all the fame, before the voice became iconic and the mustache became legendary, how did it all begin for Sam Elliott? Keep watching to find out. Sam Elliott's long road to recognition. There's a lot about Sam Elliott that people might not know right away. Some things about him can really surprise you. Like, for example, he was actually written into The Big Lebowski, but he didn't even know about it when he first got the script. That's kind of unusual. And yes, just in case you didn't already know, Sam Elliott was added to something called the Mustache Hall of Fame. That's a real thing, and he's really in it. But there's still so much more to know about him. So much more than just the mustache or the deep voice. The more you look into his life, the more interesting everything becomes. Sam Elliott was born way back in 1944. That was quite a long time ago. He was born in Sacramento, California. Now, when he first started acting, things didn't happen quickly for him. He didn't just walk into fame. No, things took time. His acting career really started around the late 1960s. And like a lot of other people trying to make it in Hollywood back then, he started out small. He didn't get leading roles right away. Instead, he began by showing up in television westerns. Those cowboy shows were very popular during that time, and they gave new actors a place to start. Sam Elliott took those chances. Over time, he began to get noticed a little more. He started getting small parts in shows like Lancer and Mission Impossible. Then, in 1969, he got a small role in a very big movie. That movie was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. It was a huge film that starred Paul Newman and Robert Redford, two of the biggest actors in the world at the time. The movie told the story of two famous outlaws who robbed banks and trains. Sam Elliott seemed like a perfect fit for a Western like that. But his role in the film was very, very small. He played a card player. He didn't have any lines, not even one. If you weren't watching closely, you might have missed him entirely. So, even though it was a famous film, it didn't really launch his career in any big way. Even with all the challenges early on, how did Sam Elliott finally start to find his place in Hollywood? To learn more details, keep watching. Sam Elliott as a man who stuck to his guns. After that, through the 1970s and the 1980s, he kept working hard. He didn't shoot to stardom right away, but he was making progress. Slowly but surely, he was building a name for himself. People started recognizing him. They might not have known his name just yet, but they remembered his face and his voice. He became known as a character actor. That means he didn't usually play the lead role, but he added something special to every story. He worked in television shows, made-for-TV movies, and the occasional big-screen film. In 1976, he starred in a movie called Lifeguard. It was a quiet drama about a man who worked as a lifeguard in Southern California. The story followed him as he went to a high school reunion and started thinking about his life. He realized that other people he went to school with had gone on to do different things. Bigger things, maybe. And he started to wonder if he had made the right choices in life. The movie didn't make a ton of money, but it got some attention. When it came time to promote it, though, Sam Elliott didn't hold back. He criticized the studio for the way they marketed the film. The folks at Paramount Pictures weren't too happy about that, and after that, they never hired him again. He faced some tough things during those years, too. In 1980, he gave an interview where he talked about the early days of his career. He said that, during those times, he was propositioned, meaning that people made offers to him that weren't about acting. Some of those offers came from women. Others came from men. He said he always turned those offers down. He believed it was the right thing to do. He wanted to live with a clean conscience, even if it hurt his career. Later on, he spoke up in support of the Me Too movement, which made a lot of sense considering what he had gone through. Still, not everything was a struggle. He had some big moments, too. In 1985, he got a role in the movie Mask, which starred Cher. Then, in 1989, he had a big part in Roadhouse, acting alongside Patrick Swayze. That movie became a cult classic over time. People still quote lines from it today. By the time the 1990s rolled around, Sam Elliott had been acting for over 20 years. He was respected, but not yet a big star. That started to change. He landed a strong role in Gettysburg, a historical film about the Civil War. That helped people take him more seriously. Then he played Virgil Earp in Tombstone, a Western that became a fan favorite. Wyatt Earp was the better-known brother, but Sam Elliott made Virgil unforgettable. That role gave his career a big boost. But sadly, his father never got to see all the success. Sam Elliott's father had very different ideas about what his son should be doing with his life. He didn't believe in acting as a real career. They didn't see eye to eye. And before they had a chance to fully work things out, his father died of a heart attack. Sam was only 18 at the time. In interviews, he said that his dad passed away believing that Sam was heading down the wrong path. That kind of thing sticks with a person. He said that it either really hurt him or gave him a fire to prove himself. Maybe both. After finally earning some long overdue recognition, what came next for Sam Elliott in the later years of his career? Let's delve deeper. A voice, a mustache, and a legend. Then came the movie, The Big Lebowski. That film would go on to become a true classic. Sam Elliott played a character called the Stranger. He had a deep, calm way of speaking. He was kind of like a narrator who popped in and out of the story. Even though it was another cowboy-style character, which he wasn't sure about doing again, he changed his mind after reading the script. What changed his mind? Well, he noticed something very unusual. In the actual script, the character's voice was described as sounding like Sam Elliott. The writers had imagined him when they wrote the part. That made him feel like it was meant to be. But filming his last scene in that movie wasn't easy. He had to do it over and over again. He got pretty frustrated. But then he learned something funny. The Coen brothers, who directed the movie, already had what they needed. They just loved hearing him talk so much. They made him keep doing it, just so they could hear that voice again and again. And speaking of that voice, wow, that voice. Sam Elliott has one of the most famous voices in Hollywood. It's deep. It's smooth. It's strong. He's used that voice in a lot of different ways. He's done voice work for commercials, like Coors Beer. He's also been the voice behind Dodge Ram trucks. And since 2008, he's been the voice of Smokey Bear, the character who tells everyone that only you can prevent wildfires. And here's a fun little detail. Sam Elliott shares the same birthday as Smokey Bear, August 9th, 1944. What are the chances? In the 2010s, Sam Elliott's career took another big leap forward. He landed roles in Netflix shows like The Ranch and Grace and Frankie. He also did voice acting in an animated movie called The Good Dinosaur. Then, in 2017, he starred in a film called The Hero. That movie was about an older Western actor looking back on his life. It was a perfect role for Sam. The director, Brett Haley, wrote it just for him. He called it a love letter to Sam Elliott and to a kind of Hollywood that's slowly disappearing. After that, Sam Elliott starred in a strange but interesting movie called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot. It had a wild title, but critics liked it because of his performance. Then, in 2018, something really big happened. He starred in A Star Is Born, directed by Bradley Cooper. That movie also starred Cooper and Lady Gaga. It was a huge hit. It made over $436 million and cost just $36 million to make. People loved it. It got great reviews and was nominated for 8 Academy Awards. One of those nominations was for Sam Elliott. He was up for Best Supporting Actor. It was the first Oscar nomination of his long career, and he was 75 years old at the time. That just goes to show it's never too late to be recognized. He was also nominated for a Screen Actors Guild Award and won Best Supporting Actor from the National Board of Review. And of course, one thing that has always made Sam Elliott stand out is his mustache. That thick, strong mustache has become part of who he is. In 2015, he was officially inducted into the Mustache Hall of Fame. It's a funny honor, but a real one. Other members include people like Teddy Roosevelt and Hulk Hogan, and even cartoon characters like Yosemite Sam and Ned Flanders. Sam Elliott says he doesn't really understand why people are so interested in it, but we all know it's part of his charm. These days, everyone recognizes him. Whether it's for the voice, the mustache, or the powerful presence, Sam Elliott has become a true legend. And he's still going strong. One of the latest places fans have seen him is in 1883, the prequel to Yellowstone. That show has been a big hit, and it proves that Sam Elliott still has what it takes to capture people's attention after all these years. What do you think about the connection between Sam Elliott and Catherine Ross? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.